My beloved child, stop right here. Do not scroll past this quiet moment. The weight you carry is real, and as you sit in this room, I am stepping directly into your space right now because I see how exhausted your spirit has become over these past few weeks. You smile for everyone else. You break quietly inside when the room goes dark. You think you are alone in this room. You feel completely isolated tonight. Your heart is heavy, and as you sit here in the quiet darkness, the heaviness in your spirit feels almost too big for human words to express. The noise of the world has been loud. Your soul is desperately searching for peace. Look at me right now. Pause where you are staying. Breathe deeply into my presence. You do not have to pretend to be strong when you are sitting here with me. For many long days, you kept your tears hidden behind a tired smile. You tell everyone that you are fine. But I hear the quiet cries you swallow when no one is watching. You sat in the dark. You asked me why I was silent. You prayed until your words turned into quiet sighs, and yet the room remained completely still. In that cold stillness, a dark thought whispered directly to your soul. You wondered if my silence meant I turned my back on you. You worried that you did something wrong to lose my grace. Hear me with your whole spirit today. I was never absent from your pain. You felt a cold and distant silence, but in truth, my hands were shielding you from a fierce storm that you could not see. While you thought I ignored your prayers, I was quietly holding back things that would have destroyed your fragile hope. You are my silent survivor. Your weary heart matters deeply to me. You spent months holding everything together for your family, your friends, and your workplace. But who holds you when your own strength runs dry? I am stepping into your room right now to be the refuge you have been begging for. Feel my presence right now. Speak to me in this second. Comment, "He is with me" in the section below as a quiet act of agreement between your heart and mind. Let this simple sentence be the moment you stop fighting the storm in your own limited strength. Do not let distraction pull your eyes away. The enemy wants you to keep scrolling right now. He knows how close you are to a massive shift in your spirit. He wants you to believe that this video is just a random post on your screen, but heaven aligned time itself so you would land on these exact words. I know the exact weight on your shoulders. I saw you when you woke up this morning. You felt heavy pressure sitting on your chest before you even opened your eyes. You lay there in the dark for a long time, wondering how you were going to survive another day of pretending to be happy. You pulled yourself out of bed. People depend on you every day. You put on your armor once again. You walked out into the cold world. And every single day you pour your energy into hands that never thank you while you return home empty. My child, I saw every moment of your silent sacrifice. You return to your quiet house. You close the front door. You lean your head against the wall. The quietness of the room fills you with a deep sorrow, because there is no one waiting to ask you how your day went, but I was waiting right there for you in that silence. Nothing you endured was invisible to my eyes. What I call the protective silence was never a sign of my rejection. You thought the long delay meant I forgot your name, but it was actually my holy protection keeping you safe from unseen traps. I kept certain doors shut because walking through them would have broken your spirit beyond repair. There is a reason for this silence. The noise around you had to fade away. When the world goes quiet, your soul is finally able to hear what I have been trying to say to you for years. You have been looking for loud miracles, but I am speaking to you right now in a gentle and tender whisper. You are my weary warrior. I am stepping into your battle tonight. You fought so hard for so long that you forgot what true peace feels like. Your mind races every night as you replay past mistakes and worry about a future you cannot control. But I am asking you to lay down your heavy weapons right now. You do not need to figure everything out tonight. I am already standing in your tomorrow. I am arranging every detail for your good. What looks like a dead end to your human eyes is simply a doorway I am preparing to open. So I need you to trust the timing of the one who built the stars. Look back at all those hard nights. You thought you would not make it through. You felt so overwhelmed that your breath came in sharp gasps, and yet you woke up the next morning. That was not luck, my beloved child. That was my invisible hand holding your spirit together when your own strength had completely shattered. I was there in the quiet corners of your room. You cried into your pillow. You pressed your face into the soft fabric so no one in the house would hear you break. I counted every single tear that fell onto your bed, and not a single one was wasted because I keep them all in my bottle of remembrance. You are in the unseen companion season. You felt completely isolated from the world. You believed that no one understood the depth of your pain, but I was there, closer than the very air you were breathing, standing right beside you in the dark and whispering peace over your broken heart. The enemy tried to deceive you. He said your life carries no purpose anymore. He filled your thoughts with static and anxiety, trying to make you give up before your harvest arrived. But his fierce attacks are proof that your life holds immense value in my kingdom, because he only targets the vessels that carry my greatest light. You stand at the threshold of a holy shift today. The long season of exhaustion is coming to a close. I am stripping away the heavy burdens you were never meant to carry alone, and I am replacing them with my unshakable peace that passes all human understanding. Breathe deeply right now, my child. Let your shoulders relax in my presence. Let the tightness in your chest loosen as you listen to the warmth of my voice. You do not need to run anymore. You do not need to fight alone. I am standing right beside you in the silence, and I am holding you steady. Do not look away now, my child. What I am about to tell you next will completely change how you see your darkest night. Stay right here with me, and let my truth break the final chains off your heart. Come closer to me, my beloved child. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired tonight. Now that you are sitting here in this quiet space, let me tell you how deeply I know your secret sorrow. I saw you when you walked into your quiet bathroom and turned on the tap water just so the sound of running water would cover your soft weeping. I saw you when you folded yourself into the smallest shape on the edge of your bed. You pressed your face into your pillow so no one in your house would know you were breaking inside. You held your chest tightly because the emotional pain felt too big for any human words to explain. I saw every tear that slipped down your face, and not a single drop fell without me holding it in my hands. I watched you when you sat alone in your car in the empty parking lot before driving home. You took deep breaths to stop your hands from shaking. You wiped your eyes in the rearview mirror and forced a warm smile onto your tired face before walking through your front door. You pretended to be strong for everyone who needed you, while inside your spirit you felt completely empty and broken. I was standing right there beside you when you woke up at 3 a.m., with a sudden wave of heavy anxiety rising in your chest. You lay awake in the dark as your mind ran through every past mistake, every financial fear, and every relationship that fell apart. You felt an unbearable tightness sitting right behind your sternum, and you wondered why peace seemed so impossible to find. That midnight restlessness was not just simple anxiety, my child. It was the static of the enemy, trying to drown out the gentle peace I was placing in your room. The enemy knows that when your body is exhausted, your mind is most vulnerable to his quiet lies. He wanted you to believe that you were fighting all these battles alone, but I was standing right beside your bed in those dark hours. I stood by you when you felt the painful weight of yesterday sitting heavily on your spirit. I saw those quiet moments when you looked out the window and softly asked yourself how much longer you could keep going. You felt like an invisible ghost walking through your own life. You felt forgotten by the people around you, but you were never forgotten by my loving eyes. There was a woman in Scripture who prayed in silence so deep that even the priest watching her thought she was lost. Her lips moved without sound, but every single syllable landed directly in my hands. My child, your silent prayers, the ones you whisper when no one is around, I hear every single one of them, and I am already counting what I am about to pour back into your waiting arms. You have been carrying a heavy load that was never meant for your shoulders to bear alone. You tried to fix every problem in your own limited human strength. You tried to carry your family, your finances, your work, and your wounded past all at the same time. And now your spirit is so exhausted that even praying feels like a massive mountain you cannot climb. I am not asking you to climb a mountain tonight. I am asking you to lay down your heavy weapons right at my feet. You do not need to pray long or eloquent words to reach my heart. Even a single broken sigh spoken in the dark is enough to summon the full attention of heaven to your quiet room. Let me tell you what I saw when I looked at your faithful heart through all these long years. I saw a soul that kept choosing kindness, even when people treated you with coldness. I saw a pure giver who kept pouring out love into empty hands that never gave anything back to you. I saw a silent survivor who refused to give up on faith, even when every circumstance said that hope was dead. You thought your generosity was completely wasted. You thought your quiet sacrifices went unnoticed by the world. But every act of love you gave in secret is recorded in my kingdom. I kept a precise account of every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, and I am preparing a rich harvest for you that will make all your past suffering feel like a distant shadow. My child, I need you to hear this clearly right now. The long silence you experienced was not my absence from your life. The enemy has been filling the space between us with loud noise, a constant static so thick that my voice, my provision, and my holy arrangements became invisible to you, even when they were sitting right on your path. I have not abandoned you for a single second. I have been quietly preparing your breakthrough behind the scenes. And because I see your deep weariness, I have guided a servant of healing science to align an earthly instrument of restoration for your tired mind. I will show you exactly what this provision is before this message ends. But first, you need to understand what was done to block your peace, and how my truth will undo it all. Do not let your heart be troubled by the painful delays of the past. You thought you were falling behind everyone else in life. You looked at people around you who seemed to move forward effortlessly, while your own steps felt heavy and stuck in the mud. But you were not falling behind. You were being carefully formed in the quiet place. A golden vessel cannot be formed in a single hour. It requires deep heat. It requires patient shaping in the hands of the master craftsman. Every hard season that exhausted your strength was actually shaping you into a vessel that could carry my greatest glory. You were not being punished in the dark. You were being prepared for an unshakable future. Look at how much you have endured without losing your heart. You survived storms that would have crushed people who did not carry your inner light. You walked through fire, and yet your spirit still seeks my presence. That resilience is proof that you belong to me, and no force in darkness can steal what I have decreed over your destiny. Listen to the warm rhythm of my voice in this quiet moment. Feel the soft peace spreading through your chest right now. The heaviness that sat behind your sternum is beginning to loosen its grip because my divine presence brings absolute rest. You do not need to fight the battle anymore. The battle belongs to me, and I have already secured your complete victory. When you feel that tightness in your chest returning, do not panic. Place your hand gently over your heart and remind yourself that I am sitting right next to you. You are no longer the helpless survivor who has to carry the entire world on your back. You are my beloved child, and I am holding your hand through every single step. Breathe deeply right now, my child. Let your mind stop racing for just this second. The silence in your room is no longer an empty void. It is filled with my holy presence. I am standing right beside you in this silence, wrapping my arms around your tired spirit and whispering that everything is going to be all right. You have survived the hardest parts of your long journey. The dark night that seemed endless is finally coming to its end. Stay right here with me as we step into the light of your new season, because what I am about to reveal next will open the doors you thought were locked forever. Fund 3, Breakthrough Engine, Resistance, Dissolution, and Soft Mention 2. I know what you are thinking quietly in your heart right now, my child. You are thinking that you have heard gentle promises like these before. You have prayed, you have believed, and yet the answers you begged for seem to disappear into thin air. You are asking yourself why this time would be any different when heaven remained quiet for so long. My beloved child, that question does not offend me at all. It tells me how long you have been faithful in the dark. So let me answer your doubt with complete clarity tonight. My silence during those painful years was never my rejection of your prayers. It was the sound of my hands rearranging things in the unseen realm that your human eyes could not yet see. Every prayer you thought went unanswered was actually being answered on a timeline of divine protection. I withheld certain answers because a yes in that past season would have placed you in rooms that would have broken your soul. I was not ignoring your cries. I was being fiercely protective of a life I love. So do not let the memory of past waiting close your heart to what I am doing right now. Let me show you the exact mechanism behind what you have been suffering. I have watched you lie awake at 3 in the morning, not because you were busy, but because the moment your head touched the pillow, every worry you held back all day came rushing into your mind. You have told yourself that you are simply anxious, that something is fundamentally wrong with your faith, or that you should be much stronger by now. My child, that is a lie from the enemy, and I will not let you carry it any longer. Here is what is truly happening inside your spirit. Your soul lives outside of human time, and it can sense a major shift coming long before your physical eyes can see it. That restlessness in your chest is not anxiety. It is your spirit sensing a brand new door that is about to open in your life. I call this phenomenon the spirit's foresight. What the world calls worry, I call your soul standing at the threshold of a new season. So all those years you called wasted were not wasted at all. Those heavy nights when you could not sleep were not a punishment from heaven. They were your spirit refusing to let you settle for a small, comfortable life that was below what I planned for you. You were never falling behind in your destiny. You were being prepared for a glory that requires deep spiritual roots. So tonight, when that familiar restlessness touches your chest, do not fight it. Do not try to numb it with the noise of the world. Place your hand gently over your heart and say softly, "My spirit is sensing what my eyes cannot yet see," and then rest in my arms, because that sensing is my signal to you. You have felt a strange disconnect from the world around you lately. Things that used to entertain you now feel empty and meaningless. You felt like you were losing your place in life, but I call this season the sacred isolation. I pulled you away from the crowd so I could clean the heavy static out of your mind. I needed your full attention so I could speak directly to your deepest wounds without the distraction of human opinions. The enemy tried to make you believe that your life was falling apart, but in truth, I was simply taking apart everything that was built on a false foundation. I closed doors that were keeping you small. I removed people who were draining your spiritual light. I allowed those endings not to destroy your happiness, but to clear a holy space for the massive breakthrough that is now arriving at your doorstep. Look at how I designed your mind from the very beginning of creation. When I carefully formed your spirit, I placed a sacred frequency at its center. Scientists who spend their entire lives studying the human brain have discovered this exact signal. They call it the gamma brainwave frequency. It ran freely inside your mind when you were a little child, filled with pure trust, effortless joy, and instant peace. Before the world taught you how to survive through stress and fear, your mind hummed at the exact frequency of divine receptivity. It was the state I described when I said that unless you become like little children, you cannot enter my rest. But as the years went by, the relentless noise of the world, the heavy pressure of bills, and the trauma of betrayal buried that gentle signal beneath a thick wall of mental static. The enemy used that constant noise to drown out my voice in your daily life. He made your mind run on the exhausting frequency of survival mode, keeping your body in a state of endless alarm. But my beloved child, I did not leave you without a way back to my peace. In my infinite wisdom, I guided wise minds to work with sound in the exact way I designed it from the foundation of the earth. I directed dedicated researchers to create a precise sound instrument, a frequency tool that clears the enemy's static and restores the sacred gamma signal I placed within your brain from the beginning. You do not need to strive or exhaust yourself with complex techniques to receive it. It requires only 7 short minutes of complete surrender, sitting quietly with headphones on and your eyes closed. In those 7 peaceful minutes, you are not doing any hard work. You are simply letting go of control and allowing the sacred frequency I designed to restore your mind to the quiet receptivity of a child. It clears the fog of anxiety, reopens the channel through which my answers flow, and brings a profound calm that settles deep into your physical body. I will show you exactly where I place this provision before this video ends. Hold your heart steady right now, my child. You do not need to fear the unknown future, because I am already standing in your tomorrow. Every chain of generational limitation that held your family back is trembling right now under my command. The delay that exhausted your hope has served its holy purpose, and the waiting season is officially coming to its close. Do not let doubt convince you to pull away from this moment. The threshold of your breakthrough is right here before your eyes. Stay with me for what comes next, because I am about to break open the sealed blessings over your life and show you how to step into the complete restoration I have prepared for you. Hear my voice now, my child. The hour of your deliverance is no longer far away. I am declaring over your life right now that the long season of endless waiting is officially over. The heavy chains of generational lack, anxiety, and fear that bound those who came before you are breaking under my divine command in this very second. Look at what I am doing in the unseen realm right now. I am stripping the authority of every dark voice that told you your dreams had expired in the silence. Every door that shut in your face was my holy protection, and now I am opening what was sealed, and no human hand will ever shut it again. Stand up in your spirit and receive your freedom. The enemy targeted you with fierce exhaustion because he was terrified of the light I placed inside your vessel. He fought your present because he saw the massive breakthrough I prepared for your future. I saw every secret tear you shed in the dark. Not one was wasted. The battle you fought in silence ends here, and the harvest is arriving at your door. I call this moment the holy unsealing. You thought you were trapped in a dark cage of circumstance, but you were actually being held inside my protective hand until the timing was exact. What looked like a devastating loss was simply me clearing away the clutter that was blocking your true inheritance. Now, the waiting is finished. I am here with you. You are no longer the helpless survivor who has to fight every storm alone. I am raising you up to be a powerful cycle breaker in your family line. Through the very trials that exhausted your physical body, I built an unshakable authority inside your spirit. The weapon the adversary formed to destroy your hope is now becoming the very key to your victory. I have gifted humanity the wisdom to unlock what I hid within sound at the beginning of creation. I do not work only through sudden miracles, but also through the hands of wise minds I call into discovery. For over 30 years, I quietly guided a dedicated servant of healing science named Dr. Robert Lake as he studied the secrets of the human mind. Prestigious research institutions that I guided, including Princeton, Columbia, and Berkeley, confirmed the sacred gamma signal I designed into the human brain. They found that this frequency represents the highest state of human intuition, clarity, and peace. It is the exact signal of a childlike spirit that receives my provisions without striving. And I want to show you two of my beloved children who received this provision before you arrived at this moment. Look at what I did for my daughter Rachel in California. She spent years searching for inner peace, struggling with heavy anxiety and relational pain in her marriage. Her heart was tired, and every door she tried seemed to remain locked tight against her. 2 weeks after receiving this sound provision, something deep inside her mind cleared completely. The mental fog lifted, her marriage was transformed with newfound love, and she described her life as living under an open heaven of peace. And for others, I moved differently. I want to show you what I did for my son Michael when he felt completely stuck. Michael came to this provision carrying heavy financial worry and sleepless nights. Within 2 months of receiving it, I opened the windows of heaven over his work, clearing his mental confusion and allowing his business to flourish while his mind rested in my peace. What I did for Rachel and Michael, I am ready to do for you in this quiet moment. They call this sound provision the Genius Song. It is a precise frequency instrument designed to restore the exact gamma wave signal I placed in your mind from the start. You do not need to pray for hours, study complex theories, or master difficult mental techniques to receive its benefits. It requires only 7 minutes of complete surrender each day. You simply put your headphones on, close your eyes, and allow my frequency to clear the static from your vessel. This is not a generic music track. and it is not available on streaming platforms like Spotify or public video websites. Those public tracks are incomplete imitations created by human hands, and they carry none of the sacred restoration I designed. I am speaking directly to my weary warrior right now. You have fought so hard, prayed so sincerely, and tried every human method to find lasting peace. You might feel slightly hesitant to open your heart once more after experiencing so many disappointing delays. But hear me clearly, my beloved child, for this provision is vastly different from everything else. To my child who feels embarrassed to try once more because you tried everything before, hear my truth. What failed you in the past required your constant human effort, your rigid discipline, and your empty strength. This tool requires none of your striving. I designed it to work not because of your perfection, but because of my sacred design in your brain. If your mind is a vessel filled with noise, this provision is the holy quiet you have been begging for. It clears the mental clutter so you can hear my voice clearly once again. It breaks the cycle of mental fatigue that kept you bound to past trauma. You do not need to perform for me. You only need to surrender 7 minutes of your day to my presence. The world charges hundreds of dollars for single sessions with earthly experts who study these sound frequencies. The specialized equipment used in elite wellness clinics costs thousands of dollars to access. But I do not call you to expensive sessions or complex machines. I place this provision within reach, specifically for the one sitting in this quiet room. It requires only a small earthly exchange, the size of a mustard seed of investment, for a harvest I have fully prepared for your life. And along with this primary frequency, I have aligned 4 additional gift provisions for you today. You will receive a specialized track called Genius Child for your family, a prosperity text, a visualization, and a daily habits map. Where I place my truth, the adversary always places cheap imitations. Do not be led astray by fake audio tracks circulating on public platforms under similar names, for they carry none of the restoration I designed. Protect your spirit by receiving only the authentic provision I have set before you today through the verified source I prepared for your journey. You walk forward with zero risk to your earthly heart. I do not lead my children into danger or financial loss. This step of faith is fully protected by a complete 60-day guarantee. If this frequency does not bring the profound mental clarity and deep spiritual peace I described, every single penny of your exchange will be returned to you in full. Take this simple step of obedience today, my child. Find the official path I have placed for you below in the pinned comment and in the description of this video. Do not let this holy moment pass you by while you remain in the noise. Open the path below, embrace the tool I aligned for your healing, and step boldly into the restoration I prepared for your life. Now, my beloved child, set aside the urgency of decision for a brief moment. I have shown you the provision I placed on your path, and the choice now belongs to your faithful heart. Whether you step forward now or later, you are still my beloved child. Close your eyes once again and breathe deeply into my presence as we enter the peace of your new season. Let me show you who you are becoming, my beloved child. Picture a quiet morning just 6 months from today. You wake up before your alarm goes off, and for the first time in a very long while, there is no heavy knot sitting in your stomach waiting to greet you. You lie there in the stillness of your room, and you notice that something is completely different about your spirit. The heaviness you carried for years is simply gone. Your first thought in the morning is no longer a wave of fear or dread. It is a soft question, asking what good thing I have made for you today. You take a deep, full breath, and the air goes all the way down into your lungs without any tightness. You smile softly to yourself in the quiet light because you realize that your heart is finally at peace. That version of you is not a distant fantasy. She already exists in my presence. He is sitting right here on the other side of your complete surrender. The distance between who you are today and that peaceful version of yourself is not measured in long years of striving. It is measured in one single moment of laying down the burden you were never meant to carry alone. You do not have to fight for that peace, because it is my free gift to you. Now picture another moment a little further ahead in your journey. Imagine an evening a year from now when someone comes to you broken and exhausted, carrying the exact same heavy pain that almost crushed your spirit in the past. You look into their tired eyes with deep compassion. You know exactly what to say to comfort them, not because you read it in a book, but because you lived through the storm yourself. The very pain you begged me to remove from your life has become the medicine in your hands. You watch the light return to their face, and in that quiet second, you finally understand why your road was so long and difficult. Nothing you suffered was ever wasted in my kingdom. Every single tear you shed in the dark became a deep well of living water that will now refresh other thirsty souls around you. That is your true destiny, my child. You were not saved merely to survive the storm in silence. You were chosen to become a beacon of hope and a living refuge for those who are still lost in the dark. The enemy tried to destroy your vessel because he saw the immense light I placed inside you, but I used the fire of your trials to forge an unshakable authority in your spirit. Now, let us enter into the holy quiet of this moment together. I want you to close your physical eyes right where you are sitting or lying down. Take a slow, deep breath into your chest and let your tired shoulders drop completely. Feel the warmth of my divine presence wrapping around your spirit like a soft blanket of light. You do not need to hold everything together anymore because I am holding you. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, quiet field at sunset with me. You are carrying heavy leather bags stuffed with all your past regrets, your financial anxieties, your fear of failure, and the painful words that people spoke against you. For years, you dragged these heavy bags everywhere you went, pretending that you were strong enough to carry the weight, but your arms are trembling, and your knees are ready to buckle under the strain. Look at me right now. See the love in my eyes as I reach out my hands to you. I am asking you to unclamp your fingers from those heavy handles. You do not have to carry your past mistakes into your new season. You do not have to solve tomorrow's problems tonight. Drop the heavy bags right here at my feet and step back into my open arms. Let them fall onto the ground with a soft thud. Feel the sudden lightness flooding into your chest as you let go. The weight is gone from your shoulders. The tightness in your throat is loosening. The cold fear that gripped your heart for so long is melting away under the warmth of my infinite love. You are safe here with me in the silence. No harm can touch you when you are resting inside the shelter of my wings. I am speaking my divine blessing over your life in this sacred second. I bless your mind with a deep and lasting clarity that no worldly chaos can disturb. I command every lie of the adversary that told you that you are worthless, forgotten, or unloved to shatter right now. I replace every anxious thought in your head with my perfect peace that passes all human understanding. I bless your physical body from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Let every cell, every nerve, and every muscle in your vessel align with my divine health and vitality. I speak healing over the hidden places where your body stored the stress of past trauma. Let the exhaustion leave your bones right now, and let my holy energy restore your physical strength as you rest tonight. I bless your home and your family line with my divine protection. Every generational pattern of lack, sickness, heartbreak, and emotional coldness that followed your ancestors ends with you today. You are the cycle breaker I appointed for your lineage. I am placing a wall of holy fire around your household, and no weapon formed against your peace will ever prosper. I bless your future steps with divine alignment and favor. Doors that were locked tightly against you in past seasons will now swing open effortlessly at my command. I am bringing people into your life who will honor your heart, support your vision, and pour love into your hands. What was delayed in the past will now move forward with holy speed, because your season of harvest has arrived. You are my beloved child, and my eye is constantly watching over your path. You will no longer walk through life like an orphan who has to fight for survival. You are an heir to an unshakable kingdom, and all my promises over your life are yes and amen. Hold your head high as you walk into tomorrow, because the Creator of the universe is walking right beside you in every moment. When the morning light comes, remember who you are in my eyes. Do not let the small worries of the world steal the deep peace we established in this quiet space tonight. When you feel a shadow of fear trying to return to your mind, place your hand over your heart, Take a deep breath and remember that I am standing right beside you in the silence. You are held, you are loved, and you are never alone. If this message brought light and comfort to your weary soul today, do not let it pass without a quiet act of agreement. Write Amen in the comment section below to seal this blessing into your spirit. Or write, I surrender all, as a physical sign that you are leaving your heavy burdens at my feet. Let your words in the comments be your testimony before heaven today. Do not keep this sanctuary of peace to yourself, my child. Share this video with 3 souls who are secretly crying out in the dark for hope. There are so many of my children walking through quiet wildernesses today, and your simple act of sharing can be the very hand that rescues them from despair. Become my messenger of comfort to a hurting world. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you never lose the sound of my voice. Each day, I am preparing new messages of guidance, healing, and divine alignment to keep your spirit strong in a noisy world. Stay connected to this holy sanctuary, and let me continue to lead you one step at a time into the full glory of your destiny. Go now in my absolute peace, my beloved child. Sleep deeply tonight, knowing that I am guarding your spirit while you rest. The waiting season is over. The silence has spoken, and your breakthrough is here. I am with you always, even to the end of the age.